Beautiful. Right. Beautiful souls. Welcome, whether you're here live or if you are watching this on the replay. I'm Aurora Light. I am a conscious creation and voice activation coach. As one of the things that I do, I have a really hard time pinning it down though, because I love all of the awesome. I've been a soul-led entrepreneur for the last, I would say, 7 years full time. And before that, I was dabbling my toes in it. And I am on a mission now to support other spiritually led, soul-based, heart-centered women, especially, to either create or expand their own businesses so they can step fully into their soul purpose and share their light with the world. And also, I'm going to be really straight up with this. I am on a mission to empower women into more wealth and abundance and freedom so that they can have the impact that I know the world needs right now. So I am wanting to be part of this shift, this transfer of wealth from basically, the 1% and a lot of the old white guys into the hands of the healers, the coaches, the practitioners, the women who are in alignment with their soul purpose, who are going to use that money to create beautiful ripples on the planet. And that's why I'm really wanting to share this workshop. And this is something that I am stepping into more and more, just empowering people to be able to have the freedom and abundance and the lifestyle that would support them the most in being in their zone of genius. And then again, sharing their light and rippling that impact out into the world. So happy that you are here with me today. If you don't already have a beverage, make sure you grab some water. And I'm going to be sharing the 5 elemental forces of creation that have supported me so much, both in my personal life and my relationships, but also in building not 1, but 2 dream soulful businesses over the course of this last decade. So the first one was called Dancing into Being, Movement, Arts, and Healing. And I did that full time in person, sharing movement and healing practices. I even worked as an artist in residence in schools. And then about at the solstice of 2019, I don't know how long ago that was now, maybe almost 2 years, I got this download that was like, you need to rebrand and pivot and change everything from working in person. And I primarily started just working with kids for the most part, to working online and to be able to hold space for people who are going to have a spiritual awakening. And I spent the next 9 months investing in more coaching and figuring out, like, how do I run an online business? What is that going to look like? And then COVID hit and all of my in-person stuff shut down. And I was like, oh, okay, awesome. Now I understand why I was guided to do that. And I've been in the online sphere and arena offering digital coaching courses, memberships, classes, group programs, retreats, and everything like that. And it's been the most amazing way to connect with people from around the world. So whether you are here wanting to launch your business, or if you wanted to grow, say, something that is on the side, your side hustle, or something that you're just wanting to grow into that dream lifestyle where you have the freedom and the abundance to do the things that light up your soul. And I'm going to be introducing you to elements you've probably heard of: earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, the 5 elemental forces of creation that represent not only our outer world, but our inner world as well. So I have been using these with Gaia for the last decade when I was mentored by my first business mentor, Lisa Michaels. So ode to her. And they helped me figure out how to create on earth in alignment with nature and the way that manifestation and creation happens on this planet. I myself remember being in other dimensions, other places where you could think, and it would just happen instantly. And sometimes I would get frustrated that I couldn't do that here on earth. So learning to work with these elements helped me learn how to human, how to come into alignment with not only myself, but also all that is, and make sure that I was in this holistic harmony, making sure that every element, the mental realm, the physical realm, the emotional realm, the action realm, and that ineffable spiritual realm, were all working together in a unified field of creation. And that's allowed me to actually get stuff done and create these 2 dream businesses, abundant ones, and just live the life that I know that I came here to live and have a lot of fun doing it. So I like to do things in an experiential way. So I'm going to invite us to open to the living field of creation and call in sacred space. So I am going to ask you, first off, nature to nurture, elaborate a little bit. You're saying, that's my problem. Tell me more about that in the comments, okay? And I will just check, or you can do that after we call in the living field of creation. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. So don't type just yet. And you can put your hands over your heart if that would feel good, or one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, and take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale through your mouth in a sigh. Beautiful. Do that 2 more times. Breathing in, sighing it out. Lovely. 1 more time. Breathing in, sighing it out. Awesome. And now I'm going to invite you to call in sacred space with me and ask for all of the elemental forces of creation, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit, to come forward and allow us to receive the transmissions and the codes and the information and the activation from them directly. And I'm going to ask to be a channel through which they can speak, to share the wisdom and the knowledge and just whatever they need to share for everyone that's listening now, live and on the replay. Also just wanting to call in Gaia, the master alchemist, Mother Earth, and ask her to hold space for all of us in this beautiful workshop so that I can speak in ways that will inspire people to step more fully into their soul's purpose, which, if you're here, that is to shine your light, your unique soul essence, use your voice to share your story, share your gifts, share your wisdom, and then just inspire other people to do the same. Just calling in also all of our unseen helpers, all of those vibrational allies, all of the beings of light who surround us and support us on our mission here on Earth to light it up. So breathing that in. You can just blink your eyes open. If you need to stretch a little bit, feel free. Awesome. Oh, okay, Jennifer. Now I see. Thanks for adding that in. Now I know who you are. So you were saying it was wanting things to happen like they would in other dimensions and not fully understanding how it works here on Earth. Yes, exactly. Exactly. That happens so frequently to so many of my clients and my friends. They're like, I just don't get why things are happening so slowly. And it's like, we are here on a planet that works with organic, divine time. And in order to create anything, there are rules that apply. So we're going to go through each of the 5 elements, and I'm just going to share a few tidbits about how they can help you in business, how they've helped me. And I have some notes here, but I'm also just going to be channeling through what feels the most aligned for you listening right now in your purpose. What you need to know, because you have your own unique, distinct soul essence, right? Your own soul signature that is unique to you and you only in the multiverse. And your voice, your tones, your codes, the frequency, the sacred geometry, all that you are is fully activating to the people that you are already soul contracted with to support, right? And this is not that you're here to support everybody, right? You can't do that. But there are going to be people that will see you, feel you, hear your words, and be like, thank you, that inspired me, and that'll give them the pieces that they need on their journey. And it's so fun because there's like capital T truth, the truths that I feel like so many of my colleagues and friends and mentors are sharing, right? The ones about connecting to your highest self, your soul essence, and bringing it through and being that light. But they're all saying it in a unique way, right? Everybody shares it through their own lensing, through their voice, with their own personal experience and everything that you are. And so even if you're sharing the same things, you would be sharing it in a different way, right? We had someone in here who's a Reiki master. I'm a Reiki master too, but I bet we do not talk about Reiki the same way. We won't talk about anything in the exact same ways because we are unique individuals. And this is what we need to lean into as a soulpreneur, as a coach, a healer, a practitioner, a facilitator, and well, really everybody gets to lean into who they really are and share it more unapologetically, more brightly, more vividly than ever before, because that is how we're able to make the impact, okay? We have to make it, whatever we're doing, even if it's the same thing as other people, we get to make it our own, right? That's going to help you stand out in a space. The people will say, oh, the coaching industry or the healing industry, it's all very crowded. Yeah, but it's also not. So it might feel that way. And like a lot of people are doing the same things, but there are also billions of people on this world that are not there yet. They don't have the information that you have or the experience that you have. And there is so much abundance potential for all of us that are being called right now to step up into sharing our light, okay? Your experience plus your essence, right? So everything that you have done, not just in this life, but all of those lifetimes you can draw forward and pull from now, plus the essence equals your magic, okay? And that means that you've got magic keys for other people, the people that you are here to serve, to help, to inspire, to heal, to grow, whatever it is that you are doing. And when you are doing that, it is more so just the example that you are holding in your field of what is possible to say overcome something that you've overcome in the past than actually the work that you are doing for them. So this is something that is very misunderstood right now, especially when it comes to like healers, practitioners. You're like, oh, this modality is what's going to help with the transformation. A lot of people see Reiki and they're like, oh, Reiki is a thing. It's going to help everybody. The modalities and the tools and the techniques will only take the transformation so far. What helps people the most is to see the living embodiment and example of what is possible and then go, okay, this person is where I would like to be. And they can pull energetically and then consciously or subconsciously through what they need to do for themselves. And it's not that they have to copy what you've done, but they just see you as this light that is at that maybe a next level or who has already been through something that they've been through. And that's why when you are working, it's so helpful to create your niche and your avatar, working with people that are a former version of you in some way, so that they're where you were, say 3, 5, 10 years ago, and you can be like just a couple steps further along in the journey, and they can be like, hey, this person's where I want to go, and they can pick up that coding and those keys from you. So in a lot of really interesting ways, we don't actually have to do much more than literally just shine our light and be that example. So if you're ever overcomplicating it, bring it back to that. What do you hold in your field as the example of possibility that other people could learn from? When you're building your business, when you're creating your avatars, your marketing copy, all of that, okay? Those keys in you are keys for other people that you've already used for yourself. Now, you are also very multidimensional. You're a multidimensional being in so many more ways than one. And what is going to really support soulpreneurs, especially right now, to stand out in a crowd, is to stop hiding aspects of self. Oh, this is great. Jennifer's just saying, and then when you hide parts of who you are, what you've been through and overcome, and what you know, you don't get the connections that you long to make. Oh, yeah, that's a big part, right? Stepping in more fully and sharing you as all of you is going to bring you the people that you are designed to help. If you are wearing masks, if you're not being your authentic self, then the right people are not going to come to you because you're not authentically showing them who you are. They can't see you, they can't find you. So our most amazing opportunity right now is to bring all of ourselves forward, especially the parts that we think are like weird or irrelevant. This happens more and more to every client I know, and all of the really like big name people that are running big businesses. The more they share of themselves that show that they are human and not some, spiritual guru way up there, infallible, but who are really unique humans with interests. Those are the people that draw in other people. One of my mentors, James Wedmore, he talks all the time about building a camper van, and it makes him real. He's not just some like 8-figure business guy teaching mindfulness and meditation and business. He has hobbies, he's got interests, he's got a life. So you're allowed in this day and age. In fact, I encourage it to share all of you. Like, I also share light language, which is just soul tones and words and expressions that aren't in English, that share my essence with people. And when I started doing that, I was terrified because it's very weird and very woo to be like, right? I was like, people are going to think I'm so weird. But I kid you not, when I did that, actually shortly after COVID began, I suddenly filled up my client roster with soulmate clients, and they'd be messaging me going, I don't know why I have to work with you, but you just feel like home. There was this soul resonance, and they were drawn in by that. They were drawn in by the weirdest parts about me. So when you share all of you, the people that you were meant to serve will be able to find you more easily. So this is an invitation, right? Just bring more of you forward. Because the more you are fully you, the more clarity that is in your field, okay? And your field, I mean energetically, physically, psychically, emotionally, all of that, so that your clients can tap into that example of possibility that you hold, right? If you hold it back, you're shielding yourself, and your clients, your students, your people, they won't be able to get in and really feel you. So take a deep breath in. Well, you actually have to be as you. As simple as it sounds, I know it's difficult, right? We're going to talk more about that and why, but some of it's just the old programs, and it's not the way we were designed to operate. So we're totally upending the system right now, okay? But being multifaceted, multidimensional, and multi-passionate, I want to speak into can really, really work for you, but you have to work it too. Yeah, so Jen's just saying there is some old trouble with making connections because of fears of judgment and everything like that. So it's about deconditioning and unlearning the old ways. Yes, we're shifting paradigms right now. But because I know everyone that's watching this is a multi-passionate person, I really want to just touch base on caution, because this can work against you in business, especially when you're getting started. Are you spreading your energy too thin? This is something that I have often done because I love all the awesome. So one thing is like, are you able to create an organized structure with the offerings, with everything that you share, that can bring through your passions and satisfy you, so you're not feeling bored because you're just doing one thing, but you can weave it together in a way that makes sense to bring people on a journey that will actually increase your customer, your client, your students' lifetime value to you as a business owner, because they're going to stay with you and spend more money and everything like that. And also really support your clients, your customers, right? And so this is something that we want to think of when we are building a business. It is way more expensive and difficult to get new customers and clients than it is to be able to share a new offer or something else with someone who already knows you, likes you, trusts you, and has purchased from you before, right? So it's easy when someone already knows what you offer to be like, hey, I've got this other thing. Do you want to come and play in that? So we want to start thinking of having either, you could call it an ascension ladder. That's what it's called sometimes, because they're sometimes a little bit hierarchical, but I really like to think of it more as an evolutionary pathway in your business. And it's the journey that your client goes through where you've got one offering for them, and then they would be invited to go to the next thing and then the next thing. And this is really, really key to help you bring in stable funds. So you're not just going like, putting something up and then going, okay, then what's next, right? Having this planned out and having an idea of the journey that customers can go through in your business is so profound. It could look like attending a workshop, and then you invite them. You should always have a plan to invite them to the next thing that would suit them, maybe to a group program, like a 12-week program. And then at the end of that 12-week program, you can go, hey guys, I'm having a retreat in a month. Why don't you come to that, whether it's online or in person? It could look like a membership that then you go, hey, maybe you'd like to invest more in this with a group of people going deeper and do a mastermind, right? And then after people are done with their mastermind, you go, you know what? There was some things in there that I really think I could really support you with in a deeper level. So why don't you come to a VIP day with me, right? Where you can dive in deeper. And then there doesn't have to be this like hierarchical ladder. Sometimes they look more like flow charts where people can go through offerings that you have, but having a journey for them will support you more than anything. With the caveat, as when you're starting out, you don't have to build everything at once. Don't think that you have to build it all at once. But for those of you who are wanting to grow your business, keeping this in mind will support you so you can have offerings that will lead into the next and the next. And now here's the thing, for a lot of coaches, healers, practitioners, they're running one-on-one sessions, right? You put up your calendar, people book in with you, they're paying you, anywhere from $80 to $200, $300 for a single session. And then that's it, goodbye. And if you are needing to do that over and over again, you have to bring in new people all the time. And that's a lot of energy. So if you're just running one-on-one sessions, you're really limiting your income potential. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that. If that is all you want to do, totally cool. I'll tell you about one way that you can really support yourself in making that easier. But for a lot of people, it is going to keep you stuck at one level of abundance and income where you're trading your time for money, okay? Which is the employee mindset. You go to work, you trade your dollars for the hours that you get, or the hours for the dollars you get, and that's it. And you can't grow beyond that. So when we are wanting to really grow our impact, our influence, our freedom, our abundance, we want to break free of the time equals money paradigm. And we have that option when we scale the business that we have with one to many instead of just one to one, right? Now, if you're wanting to do that, here are some options. I'm just going to ballpark some things out there. You could have a membership site, or it could be group coaching, right? Could be an online self-study class, and that's great because it can be residual income. Could be a mastermind where you're bringing people together in a group to work with each other and learn from each other. Could be workshops, could be retreats. Like there's a million ways you can do that. So when people are like, no, I just want to do one-on-one sessions, it's like, have you looked at all of the options to be able to work with more than one person at the same time? So, oh, just one sec. My daughter's just broken here. Charlie, I'm just not available right now. Okay, you need to go ask Dad. Okay, thanks. Go ask Dad and close the door. This is an egg that she put modeling clay into, like a little plastic egg. So here's the other option I just want you to think of if you haven't already. If you're doing one-on-one sessions or you're wanting to, building a transformational package that takes a person on a journey is similar to taking someone through that evolutionary pathway or ascension journey in your business. It's like the macro to the micro. you can build a transformational package instead of saying, book a single session with me, but rather a series of sessions that you lay out where people can come and have a specific outcome or goal in mind. Like they would like to increase their energy, right? So how do you get them there? Is one session going to get them there? Probably not, because we have to build habits. We have to transform old stuff that's not working and then bring in the new. And on earth, that stuff takes time. And people are always looking for the quick fix and the single sessions. And if I go and see this person once, it's all going to be done. And that's just not how it works here. One session might have great results. And also, wouldn't it be really thrilling to be able to walk somebody through from where they are to where they want to be and hold their hand through that transformation? The reason that's also really powerful is that you can promise greater results, which means that in your marketing, in your copy, in your advertisements, you can say bigger things are going to happen because people are going through a whole transformational journey from A to B. And maybe it's in their ability to use their intuition. If you're a spiritual advisor, maybe it's in their ability to build a business. If you're a business coach, right? A single session cannot give the results that you can when you do something, when you include time. And because most things need practice, right? Study and practice, and having somebody there to hold space and create a container as a guide is so helpful. So thinking longer term, if you want to scale your business, of transformational packages that you can offer. And from a personal perspective, let me say that I find single sessions very unsatisfying energetically, because I give somebody a session and then I don't know what they do with them. But when I work with someone over 3 months or 6 months, I can watch them go from that caterpillar into the butterfly and fly, and I get to enjoy what happens, that transformation, and support them along the way, right? So super, super fun. By the way, if you're here with me live and you've got questions, stop me anytime so that I can support you here. But I'm going to get you to take a drink of water, take a breath, and we're going to talk about the element of earth, which is the one that doesn't always excite people as much, right? It's the realm of the physical, the realm of structure and form. And when I say structure and form, when it comes to business, that does not sound super exciting, super sexy, but systems and structures are not a dirty word. And I know most spiritual people are like, I love being in flow and just letting it go wherever it's going to go. Yeah, I love flow too. Like literally, I was a flow artist. But the structures in your business support you in your beingness so that you can flow. That is a huge difference. They're also the only way that you can scale your business, grow your business, move out of exchanging just that time for money. And even if you are just wanting to do single sessions without packages, you still need some structure to hold your business, to hold you so that you're not just a pile of goo going everywhere. And without structures and systems, we wind up being an overwhelm. So this has been the greatest lessons for me in business is what systems and structures can I use to support me, okay? So earth is the element that provides the container, right? See that pot, or even the dirt itself is the container for the growth that we want. So I want to start with just acknowledging that your body is an essential part of your business. If you don't know this already, but your health equals your capacity to grow as a person, right? If you are battling ill health, you don't have the energy to be able to create and grow and scale and have the impact, right? So a wise friend of mine, Rosalind Fung, always says body before business. And that is so difficult to make the shift from where it used to be get your work done and then take care of you. But we are inverting all of the paradigms right now, and taking care of yourself and your container, body, mind, and heart and soul first will actually allow you to grow. So we have to talk about the body a little bit, okay? Because you are, as a business owner, as a spiritual business especially, you need to be in integrity and in your field so you can hold space for others. And if you are not at your best, it's difficult to show up for people and have that clarity in your field, right? Ooh, Jen's just saying structure is triggering. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know. But now I freaking love it because my structures support me so much. I can relax within them and have all this more space and time and freedom. So I could talk on this for days. I literally do have courses that are, a year long that will go deeper into systems and structures. And by the way, if anyone wants to stick around, I can tell you about how I can personally support you with building all of these elements into your business. But let's talk about a few systems and structures that are very supportive in a business. First off is some people call businesses a baby, right? The babies are annoying, right? Some people will, because they need everything from you. Some people say you need to build a machine. And I'm like, it's between that. It's like this organic machine. We want to create something that can be self-replicating, that can stand on its own, that you don't have to give everything to. But at first, it is a little baby that you do have to nurture and grow. But then you want to set it up with the systems and structures to run smoothly without as much of your energy or time. Okay. That is how you create something that will support you instead of you being the one that supports your business, which is just the most freeing thing. So one that you have maybe not thought about before, but you can let me know in the comments is, do you have standard operating procedures listed out for your business? Do you have them in a Word document that say, okay, when you do this, you do it this way? This sounds like such a pain in the butt to do. It takes just a tiny bit of time, but it is a game changer because it means when you're ready to grow and you're ready to bring on team members, you don't have to spend a ton of time training them. You give them a standard operating procedure. You can make a little Loom video about how you do the thing, how you want it done, and then you just hand it over to someone and they can do it with minimal support. And if you are just building your business for the first times, you're probably going to be using support, say, from a virtual assistant who, may move on to a different person, a different occupation. That's happened to me. Two of my virtual assistants decided to do different things, but it caused almost no interruption in my business because I had a standard operating procedure. And I said to the new person who was even more aligned, here you go. This is how you do the thing. And they were like, great. And they could jump right in, and you don't waste time doing things, training people over and over and over again. So even if you are a solopreneur right now, or you're just going to launch your business, when you're noticing that you do something over and over again, it's something that you have to often do. Just create a little standard operating procedure, write it out, even if it's you that's doing it, so you don't have to use any brain power to do it. A little bit of effort at the start can give you so much time back, okay? This is one of the ways systems and structures support us. Also, automations can really support us. I found when I first started coaching online that I loved getting new clients, but it was such a pain in the butt to onboard them because it was like, do this thing. And then over here, you have to do this thing. You have to send out this thing and do this thing and this to get them all set up. And I was like, this is taking way more of my time than I would like. So I created automations. I created automations in my email campaign. I created Google Forms. I created ways for things to get pulled out of there. I also created the templates and the documents so that it was just there. And then I could have a virtual assistant come and just do those pieces for me and refer to the standard operating procedure, and bam, there we go. Right? There's also things like funnels that you can use to automate sales, for example, or automate people going through a process to get to know you, which could be something like an email nurture sequence, right? A lot of digital entrepreneurs and even brick and mortar ones have email lists. In fact, you should. If the great Facebook outage and WhatsApp and Instagram outage taught us anything last week, it's that you should have your own email list because you don't own any of the social media. And so nurturing people to get to know you through email amplifies your know, like, and trust factor, but it also gets to be automated. So you can take posts and emails that you've made in the past and be like, you know what? I wish someone who is new coming into my business could hear this great stuff I've already created. And you just put it into an automated campaign for them when they join your list. And then you've got that already created for you. So those are more ways you can have systems and structures nurturing your potential clients for you instead of you having to do all the work. So this is one of the ways you can be repurposing content on your platforms, right? So repurposing content looks like taking that post that you made and turning it into an email, but also maybe pulling a quote from it out and turning it into a graphic, and then maybe turning it into a blog post and maybe doing a Facebook Live about it. And that Facebook Live then could become either a podcast or a video. You don't have to be on all of the platforms and do all of the things, but there is some energy about working smarter, not harder. And I think that's actually on my next slide. Yeah. So to work smarter, not harder. This is how we grow and scale and get our time back. Repurposing the content is one, but also batching your content and batching your time. All of the soulpreneurs that I know that love being in flow are resistant to this idea at first, myself included. And it was to batch my content and do like all of my social media content in an hour on one day at one time. Like, what? Yeah, I had such resistance to that. But when I put in the structure, and I even had some structure about on this day I do this, and on this day I post about this, and on this day I post about this, with a wide enough range that I had all this creativity, there was never any writer's block. I would just sit down and I would have things to share about it. And I have some other systems and structures in place to help me with that. Like I'll write down ideas throughout the week and put them into place, right? And I get all of it out of the way in an hour on Monday to start my week. And then I've got all of this free time. And yes, of course, I'll post and share more things over the course of the week, but it's already done. I don't have to think about it. So that kind of structure is so helpful, right? And that's part of blocking your time, which is letting structure support you in flow, which sounds so counterintuitive. But when you time block, you're putting aside time for you to do certain things, right? You're putting in the time to support you to make sure everything gets done, right? And this is part of creating rhythms and routines. So we've got daily routines, weekly routines, monthly, quarterly, annually. So I'm curious, if you're watching on the live, do you have a practice of preparing your day, or do you just roll it right into it? What about your week? Do you spend a bit of time before your week begins mapping it out? What about your month or even the quarter and creating a business plan about what you're going to launch, what you're going to do, what your goals are quarterly and annually, right? So some people are saying, no practices yet, but that's okay. These are things that aren't intuitive to us, especially us flow people who just are here to be, geniuses in that teaching and facilitating. But this is the stuff that builds the business. And this is why the element of earth has supported me so much. Having times carved out to work on my business versus in my business. Are you guys doing that yet? Super important distinction. Working in your business is the client facing stuff where you are talking with clients, where you are facilitating, where you are doing that kind of thing, right? Where you're actually teaching the classes or giving the sessions. But working in your business, working on your business are the days that I have where I do my socials, I do my marketing, I do my prep, I do my planning, I do my forecasting, I connect with my team, I look at my books, right? And I'm not doing that swedged in between client sessions or stuck trying to cram it in at the last fact. It is built into my week on Mondays and Wednesdays. That's for me. I also do personal development stuff, business development stuff on those days too. And this is what you can use how to use structure to help you grow. If you're always working in your business, you never have time to work on it. You're not going to be able to grow it out. So if you're always working on your new business, that's cool too, because you're not there yet. But what I'm saying is when you get to that point of working in your business too. You want to maintain those days or blocks of time where you are working on it still to help it grow. Deep breath in, have some water. We are rolling right along. We have now the spirit. We know we need our essence to shine in our business, and we need the structures and foundations. But what about water? The emotional realm, right? Water is magnetic. So are your feelings. Your feelings are very important when it comes to your business, believe it or not, because you're not machines, right? So it is essential that you learn the skills to run a clear, clean current emotionally. That means letting your emotions run through you when you have them and you process them and you feel the feelings so they don't get stuck inside you and they're not all swampy and they're not going to cause dis-ease, which will take you out, right? Disease, dis-ease, either one of those. If you are, emotionally in turmoil, how can you grow and run your business in a way that's going to give your clients the best results and have the greatest impact? So the emotional realm and learning how to work with it instead of fighting against it, which is what I like to do. I like to do that stuffing down. 10 years ago, before I learned to work with water, really supported me. Water is also the realm of divine love and nourishment. And I said this earlier in the week, so I'll quote myself. Your ability to nourish yourself is directly proportional to your ability to create and manifest. Just breathe that in. Yeah, as an entrepreneur, you have to take care of you in a way that is deeper than anything you've ever done before, better than your parents took care of you, no matter how good your parents were. You have to level it up because entrepreneurial worlds will stretch you more than you've ever been stretched before. And being of service, especially to clients in this work that we do, is going to require that you need to rest and nourish yourself and take care of yourself, right? Your relationship to yourself and how you feel about yourself, how you take care about yourself is the most important relationship that you have. It has to be number one. And that is also a paradigm shift because those of us that are here to be of service want to give and give and give to other people and forget that we have to give it to ourselves, and we have to completely invert that. The entrepreneurs, especially the women that I know who do not do that, get into frustration, overwhelm, and burnout really fast. Ask me how I know. I have been there because it used to be really difficult for me to put me first, especially when I was not a young mom, when I was an older mom, but I had a young child, right? Because I wanted to do for everything first. And it took me a few years to really understand how freaking important it was for me to be solid, for me to take care of me first so that I could do all of the things I came here to do. So let me know if you have ever played in that paradigm of over serving others. And I bet you have, because you're a beautiful soul who's here to be of service, right? But that's the thing, the being of service is an old paradigm energy where we were at service to our own detriment, because that was a way that we could karmically advance, but it could get hugely, hugely out of control. And we would wind up in savior or martyr, right? Which are like two extremes of that energy. Like I have to save other people. I have to do everything for them. Or, I will just throw myself on this cross so that other people will be okay, right? I mean, no disrespect to Jesus he didn't throw himself on the cross. That's not what I was saying. He had, that was a whole other thing. But throw yourself on the pyre, let yourself be worn out. So this sets the tone for your business. If you are always giving and giving and giving and not receiving anything in return, and it's not reciprocal either, you're gonna start feeling crappy about it. It's gonna deplete your energy. It's gonna lower your vibration and lower your ability to do what you came here to do and also have the abundance that you deserve to have as well. So this includes getting paid enough. Yeah, if your prices are too low and you are not receiving adequate compensation for what you are doing, that is another way that you are not serving yourself, right? You are serving others first. it needs to be in right relationship. Okay. So are you honoring yourself? Are you honoring yourself with how you're taking care of yourself and how even, you're valuing yourself? And we'll talk a little bit more about the money part and sales and charging and finances in air. Are you honoring yourself? Are you valuing yourself? Right? Are you loving yourself? No one else is going to do it for you, right? Until you do it for yourself, which is unfair, but it's just how it works on this earth plane. So breathing all of that in here. How you value yourself, your relationship to yourself is going to show up in your relationship to others. It all has to start with you, and you do it. You got to be the change you want to see before you can serve people. But the question also from Water is, how are you showing up? How are you showing up for others? Are you showing up in service? Or like I was talking about, in that martyrdom and self-sacrifice and doing everything for your clients instead of empowering them, right? Just feeling into, and if you haven't started a business yet, this is just a think about this for the future. How do you want to show up? Are you in your masculine energy where you're very much doing push, push, push sometimes, right? Are you fully in the feminine? And the feminine, and the masculine are beautiful aspects that are in all of us, and they need to be in a right relationship. The feminine can be very laid back and open to receiving. And for women in business, it can be really challenging to be marketing and doing business when a lot of the examples are men who do things in a more masculine way. If that resonates with you, amazing, but there's also a different energy in that feminine. But also men can be in their feminine, women can be in their masculine, right? It's not about your sex, it's about that energy. And for me, when I am looking to work with somebody, I do not enjoy when some coach is in their masculine energy chasing me, trying to get me to work with them. I'm like, ew, no, thank you. But if someone is just there, just open, and they're just leaning back and saying, here I am, right? They're just being that light, then it brings me in, and it just feels better. And then that also is a great client coach relationship or a service provider where they're just there and I'm leaning into my masculine of doing, because that just works really well for me, because then I show up, I'm like, hey, I'm going to do it. I don't expect you to do it for me. I'm here. I'm choosing in. I'm saying yes. So you want to find all of that in right relationship. And again, I could talk about this for decades. So I'm doing as much as I can in this shorter masterclass, just giving you little tastes, things to think about. And the question as well is, are you showing up at all? Right? Are you showing up for others? Are you being visible? Are you allowing yourself to be seen? How else are your clients going to find you? Deep breath in. Have a little more water if you need. All right, let's talk about the air realm, the mental realm. This is so important for business and life, because your vibrational frequency, this is all in the air realm, and your beliefs are actually creating your reality. And in fact, all of those feelings from the water realm that I was speaking into, they are actually created by your beliefs. Your feelings are always valid. But the thing is, are the beliefs that are causing you to have the feelings actually accurate, right? Your belief system is what is creating the lens through which you perceive reality. So we also are going to talk a little bit about in this realm about how we want to use our focus, our attention and intention to help you consciously create your business. So instead of basically having your subconscious run the show, right? Because we all have this subconscious programming. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about, for example, your beliefs and why you need to, you can't just work on the systems and structures of your business. You can't just work about how you feel about it. You have to work on the belief systems underlying it, like your belief systems, for example, around money and sales, which is really, really freaking huge. Oops. We're going to go back. Oh, it's not going to let me go back. Why is my back button not working? I I really want to talk about belief systems and money. So I'm going to just share that again. Just take a breath. If this is too slick, as one of my mentors would say, too Vegas for you, let me know. Oh, slideshows. I often just show up and teach without them, and that feels really aligned and flow for me, but they also help me stay on track when I'm going into so many different things. So here we go. What beliefs do you have around money and sales? So first off, if you are an entrepreneur and you want to be abundant and make money and, have a 6-figure, 7-figure business, but you're holding on to beliefs like money is the root of all evil and people cannot be spiritual if they are exchanging money for their services, because how dare they? They should just be given away for free. How are you going to hit those income goals? How? Let me know. Have you ever heard somebody say that, like spiritual healing should always be free and it's out of integrity to charge for it? Guess what? Money is energy. It is currency, right? Energy is also currency. And my friend Christine Nicole blends those together and calls it monergy. She's an amazing coach. And when we say, no, we cannot receive currency or energy in exchange for the energy that we're putting out, that depletes us. It leaves us disempowered and unable to do the things we're going to do. And I wonder who would have been served by having this most powerful people, the ones who are the best creators, manifestors, healers, disempowered. Breathe that in. It is part of the old paradigm to believe that money is icky and evil and wrong and bad, and you should not be receiving it for your spiritual gifts. That is going to keep the money out of the hands of the people who could actually transform the world with it, right? So we have to destroy and uncreate all of those old stories about money and about what it means, and that it's like hard to acquire and that you have to work hard for your money and all of that jazz, right? Really important that we clear that stuff out and then also replace it with something that's going to be more supportive. The new paradigm going, you know what? I am infinite abundance, and because I am the universe, right? And I am able to tap into that infinite flow, and I am worthy of having my gifts and my time being paid, being paid well for it, being paid abundantly, not just enough, screw that, none of that. Yeah, they weren't yours, Jennifer. All of those things. So that's the thing about the subconscious programs that run our belief systems. Most of them aren't ours. Most of them are things we've heard in childhood or by society, from a teacher, from a parent. They might be from your genes, like the epigenetics. It might be from the collective consciousness. But the cool thing is your brain and its programming can be reprogrammed consciously. We can do it ourselves. I've got amazing techniques in all my programs that I use to help us repattern unsupportive beliefs and consciously choose new ones that are going to support us more. Because if we are not consciously choosing them, they've been chosen for us, right? Or they are just happenstance, but a lot of the times it's like, what is going to keep us in power, right? And not the people that are really here to light up the world. So what are your beliefs around sales as an entrepreneur, right? When I was learning how to sell online, because I had always worked in person, never had to advertise. I had a sold out business where people would just invite me. It was all word of mouth. So that was great for 7 years. And then I had to learn how to do sales. I didn't want to do it in an icky car salesman way. I had ick around sales, and I had to shift that. I had to shift all of that so I would feel okay showing up. And what was the greatest part for me was, instead of thinking of it as sales, it's and marketing, I think of it as an invitation. I'm just inviting people to work with me, to come to my party where we have so much fun and there's so much amazing stuff. But if people don't want to come to my party, that's fine. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they're at another party. Maybe they don't like parties. Right? It has nothing to do with me if they say, no, thank you. But I can hold with so much integrity in my field sales, because I am here to just invite you to come and play. If that feels good to you. If you don't want to play, I'll just be like, okay, that's fine. I can play with some people over here. So what if you could make that shift? What if you could consciously shift all of those old belief systems that you have about showing up in the world and choose the ones that are going to support you the most? And I'm going to actually show you what that looks like. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to offer you an invitation if you want to learn more about this stuff with me, because I am a business person and I would love to go deeper with those that want to. But if you don't want to, that's totally fine. So let's also talk about air realm stuff. Your belief systems and of course your feelings, they're all vibrational frequency, right? Abundance is a frequency and so is scarcity. So what dial do you want your thoughts to be turned into and your feelings? What do you want to be tuned into, right? If you are playing out that old programming, that old paradigm stuff of there's not enough and it's a competition and blah, all of that ick, or the new paradigm stuff of there is more than enough for all of us. We can all rise together into the infinite abundance, and that spiritual entrepreneurs can work together and co-create and collaborate. And there's actually, the more we create, the more there is for all of us. And it's not competition. It's not scarcity. There's no lack. The people that I work with now are so in integrity that we refer clients to each other. We collaborate, we connect, and it makes more money for all of us. It's so much fun. And I've played in the old one before in other times where there was this idea that there wasn't enough customers to go around, and that felt so icky, right? There is more than enough. So why not support yourself by choosing into the frequency of what you want, right? If you're focused on what you don't want, that's going to drag you into more of that, because what you focus on expands. This is all air realm teachings, the mental realm. What you focus on, you're going to get more of. That's how the universe works energetically. So if you've got what you don't want and you're not sure what you want, just go, what's the opposite of that? What would feel better, more expansive, lighter? Oh, my naked darling, you can't be in here right now, sweetie, all naked. Just a second, Charlie, I love you.
We found Poppy.
Cool, you found Poppy. Go play with Poppy, please. Okay, close my door, please.
Okay.
Okay. Real life, people. But I love the freedom of this online lifestyle that lets me work at home with my kid here sometimes, because if she's sick from school and she has to be home, I don't have to cancel everything that I do and stay home. So I love that I've created a lifestyle for myself that I can pop, an hour out on a Saturday, do this, and then go back to playing with her later. So just a little aside. So yes, we were talking about what you don't want and letting it point you to what you want instead. So your focus can direct your energy, because that is so key for your business. What are you focusing on? The things that are going to make you money, or some pointless busy work? Like, does my logo look okay? None of that matters. I still don't have a logo. So this is how we come to intention setting, which is one of the most important parts of your business. Intention setting, focusing that consciousness. It's kind of like setting a goal, but you're adding a little sprinkle of magic, because you're writing down your goal, but you're also putting all of your energy into it and feeling it. Like, what would it feel like to have that 6-figure business? What would it feel like to have a lifestyle with freedom, with time freedom, with financial freedom, with like not having a micromanaging boss kind of freedom? What would that feel like? So you feel into all of that, the vibrational frequency expanded into all of you. You just surrender it and let it go. And while you do have to also then create the step-by-step plans, you don't have to know the entire how. You just have to trust that the universe is going to bring you the next right steps, right? So there's this interesting dichotomy of needing a plan, but also surrendering some of the higher level things for you as well, right? Saying, I want it to be like this, or something even better. And then you never know what creativity the universe is going to bring to support you in this. Because when you are on your soul mission, you're aligning with all that you are, the world will conspire to support you. Take a deep breath in, and we're going to go to the last realm here, the action realm. So much fire happening with my little starfire out there. I don't know if you can hear her yelling. My husband was going to go to the farmer's market with her, but that is not on schedule. So the fire is my favorite realm, the action realm, the realm of transformation and illumination. And we need to be taking aligned action as an entrepreneur, right? Or someone who is wanting to be one. Aligned action is going to be the key. Aligned action versus throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's not a bad thing if you're throwing spaghetti at the wall. I've just been there because I had to experience it of going, when I first started online, let me try this, let me try this, let me try this. What's the right thing? Blah, blah, blah. And it was very frantic, right? It was fire that was not in containment. So aligned action has a completely different energy. Oh, let's talk just a little bit more about aligned action. But this is the other thing too. The worst person throwing spaghetti on the wall is doing things because you should, because a coach told you, because that's what people doing healing do, because this is what you've always seen, doing it because you should. Like, we've got to destroy and uncreate all of that too. So that aligned action is the opposite of both of those things. Aligned action looks like transforming all of the belief systems, old programs, all of that stuff, and then connecting in an alignment, body, mind, heart, and soul, maybe highest self, source, whatever you want to connect with, and then receiving the information that you require, being calm enough to understand it, and then going, okay, what is the next right thing for me? And then doing that thing, right? Doing it in a way that you are not trying to figure it out from an ego place. You're not trying to copy what other people have done. You are doing it in that, going back to spirit, authentic way to your own unique soul essence. Breathe it in. As we do that, we're able to transform every challenge that we have into an opportunity. Because let me just say, business stuff, it can be full of challenges. Things don't go as planned, right? Like, clients have issues, people come, like, right? There's challenges that will come your way. But when you can stay in a space of allowing it to be transformational instead of taking you out, you can turn the challenges into opportunities. There can be stepping stones. They're like, it's the difference between going, oh my God, this is happening to me, I've got a problem, into, ooh, there's a challenge here. What is this teaching me? What is this an opportunity to do? And if you can keep that perspective with everything coming your way, which happens and is only possible when you have done all of these other things too, like fill yourself up, clear out your old junk around mindset, and raise your vibrational frequency, right? And connect with your soul, be in alignment. When you can do all of that, and you can take any challenge that is presented to you in business and life and go, cool, what is this here to teach me? How can I be grateful for the gift that it is giving me? Because it's obviously here to teach me something. Everything is, right? Especially in business. And they're going to, your capacity to grow your business is going to be directly proportional to your ability to handle and manage problems and turn them into learning opportunities. Okay? Because there's never not going to be problems. Even being super aligned with spirit and being like, this beautiful master who meditates all the time and does all the stuff, you don't ever not have problems, but you have the resilience to deal with them. You also have that air realm ability to zoom out to the visionary and see everything from that higher perspective, right? When we work it all at the same time. So that's why we need all of the elements working together. And within each element, we can transform what's not working, let it point us to what we want instead, activate that connection to soul source and to the vision that we want to hold. And then we bring it through our action and embody it. And if you can do that in each element of your life and business, God, it's so much fun. It's aligning yourself to your own North Star, right? Your own vision, your own soul, your own higher self, your unique soul signature, and bringing it through and doing what's right for you. Taking those aligned action steps, working with each element in turn. Deep breath in This is what all of these elements look like when they're working together. Earth, air, fire, water, and spirit overlapping together create a unified field, right? The unified field is the creative expression of the universe, pure potential. So when you're able to work with each of these elements, you can create and manifest whatever you want in your business and life on planet Earth, okay? It is the fastest way to anything. And anybody who is out there teaching manifestation, creation, or is really successful in business growth is working with each of these elements, even if they are not consciously talking about them. But there will be elements of each in any balanced program, okay? And that's why I love actually speaking into it directly. So I want to take a pause and ask if there are any questions about these elements, the unified field. How are you feeling with this information? Is it giving you an idea of how all the pieces have to come together in order to create and manifest a business that will support you and be in alignment with your soul essence and help you build what it is that you came here to build, whatever that is? Yeah, working with each of these elements consciously changed my life. It's allowed me to make sure that everything is in harmony. I don't always like the word balance because it can feel precarious, right? It's hard to balance everything, but harmonizing each aspect, which means that sometimes you have to focus more on one than the other. It's really, really cool. Awesome. Jennifer saying this is unveiling so many things, beliefs and patterns that have been keeping you stuck. Yeah, that's my favorite thing, is to illuminate what needs to perhaps be transformed in order to support what we are creating now, what is new. Awesome. So I could teach on the elements and on business for hours and hours and hours. That is what I wanted to share with you today, specifically about building a business, expanding your business, scaling your business. And if you want to be able to learn more, to dive deeper, I am going to issue my invitation now. So if you're wanting to hear more about how you can work with these and how I could support you in doing that, stick around. So like I said, I have been working with these elements for 10 years. And I took a program called Creation Coach from a woman in Atlanta named Lisa Michaels a decade ago. And I took all of this information, and I also trained as a conscious dance facilitator and an elemental priestess. And I embodied that wisdom, and it helped me do so much. And then about 6 months ago, Lisa came to me and said, listen, I'm not teaching this work anymore, but I need it to live on. Would you take it and then add in your own flavor to it, your own rebrand it, make it yours, add everything that you have done in this last decade and still share it because it needs to be shared with the world. Oh, you're in Atlanta, Kayla? Oh, that's awesome. I love Atlanta. I was there 10 years ago. It was so beautiful. So we did our in-person workshop in Decatur. So I said yes. And I have taken the last 6 months to prepare the Conscious Creation Academy, where I'm going to support people in being able to create their own spiritual coaching business, transformational workshop business, and their own basically spiritual academy where they could do it online or in person, where I can support them and empower them to create this nature-aligned prosperity in business and life. And help people, because I have a lot of galactic magic, help them bring all of that galactic stuff down to Earth to create on Earth, in this Earth plane, in alignment with Gaia, who I work with, who I channel. And Gaia is so behind that. She was like, you have to do this. People need to know how to work with nature, with the elements, because they're so divorced from it right now. You know, it is, it's probably one of the greatest follies that mankind has done, is to think that we are beyond or above nature, right? So I have created this Radiant Evolution Academy, where it's learning how to be a creation coach and transformational workshop facilitator. And my favorite thing about this, that I'm going to let you know first, is that this is a 1-year certification, but you get to earn as you learn, because it's all about building or expanding your business while you're in the program. Not like some programs where you learn everything and then they set you free and you're like, okay, how do I charge? What do I do? How do I build the business? That happens so often for coaches, healers, all of those things. So this program has the easy workshops that I will give you, that I'll teach you to facilitate, that you can take and teach your very own exactly like that workshop, or you can bring in all of the stuff that you have already and just use the elements as the archetypal structure to make sure that people are in balance, in harmony, in wholeness, and aligned with nature. So it's this structure and system that can support anything. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you get a few that you get to do right away. And then by the end of the year, you have so many things that you can facilitate exactly as they are or change it. And in order to be certified, you have to charge for it. This is so important because the skills of giving your services away for free versus actually having a business instead of just a hobby and charging for your work, that's a hard one. And I want to support people through that and give them belief repatterning for it and the tools to do that and practice. So it gets easier and easier until it feels so natural. And it's really fun to be able to make money, like to do what you love, right? So I'm going to share with you who this is for. First, aspiring and established entrepreneurs. We will have something for everyone. You can be brand new, just wanting to step in, or maybe you're just wanting to grow, expand, to bring your business online, or to start doing more than just one-on-one sessions. It's definitely going to be for those who want something spiritually fulfilling. There is a lot of spiritual elements, but it's nature-based spirituality that is very accessible to people, especially right now, who are craving something deeper. As the pandemic has shown, people want to go in, people want to have more in their life. And this is a way into communion with all that is in a really healing way, or at least it was for me and for the thousands of people who've done this with Lisa. There's also infinite abundant potential, by the way, because it's scalable. It's not based in time for money exchange. Also, this is just for people who want to inspire and connect humanity with their own power and their own wholeness. Also really amazing for people who are multi-passionate, right? I am an all the awesome kind of person, and just doing one thing doesn't feel good for me, but also having the structure and support to do it and to step up in a leadership role, right? As a light leader, as an example of what is possible. So I'm going to tell you about what we're teaching in terms of skill set. A brief overview, because I can't, in a one-year certification, explain everything I'm going to teach you in 1 second here, but this is basically the gist of it. Holding space for epic transformations. You're not healing at people, you are holding space for them to have their own experience, their own embodied experience with the elements and with themselves, with their intuition. And the elements always meet you where you're at, which is so fun. After a decade, I'm still getting profound wisdom for myself and my business all the time. So we share actual workshops you could facilitate, online or in person, again, that you can teach exactly how they are, so you don't have to have any pre-existing skills, or you take them and you make them yours. And I actually did this, and I take this work and then I made it into like hula hooping workshops. and like, that wasn't what I was taught in this, but you're so able to take it and make it your own because it applies to everything, every niche, every direction. And the same with coaching people one-on-one. You could coach people one-on-one without any prior experience using the two systems, the alchemical elemental forces of creation and that evolutionary alchemy system, which is you work through the transformation piece, the activation and alignment piece, and then the embodiment piece. With those two systems, you can take anybody from that caterpillar to the cocoon in whatever they are wanting to do and create. So if you were already a coach, a healer, a practitioner, you can also just weave this into what you already do, and it's going to only enhance the work that you do right now. So with all of this, you can also create group programs There's structures available for that, where you'd have, say, like a 12-week online course or retreats, right? There are so many things you can do because we're giving you the structures that will allow you to flow in your own beingness and what's going to feel good to you in your own spiritual academy. And I call it a spiritual academy because it's like you can have this, your own niche. For me, it's the Radiant Evolution Academy. I've got my own self-study classes, coaching, membership, light language course that I do, and now the certification, right? This is my spiritual academy, but there's lots of other ones that exist, you know, about relationships, about manifestation specifically, about healing, about galactic-y stuff, right? You can have your own in your own niche, but have the structures and systems to support you. So we give you professionally designed materials and done for you workshops that you can do to use in your marketing as well as the actual teaching, including our new Oracle deck, which I'm so excited about. It's at the printer right now. I was given the okay to redesign the Oracle deck I've been working with for a decade, and it's old school. I mean, it's 90s, right? So we redesigned it with Nicole Rose's help. And oh man, these cards, they have taken me places and they're amazing. So we get to share all of that too. And people always want to know, and by the way, ask questions if you're here with me live, if you want me to go deeper into anything I'm sharing. But how it works is it's self-paced, pre-recorded modules for the core content where you get to journey yourself with the elements and deepen your understanding of them. We go into like astrology and things like that so that you can understand the elements from that perspective and be able to take people's natal charts and actually go, oh, this is where all your placements are, and this is what each element is doing and each of the signs, and get them to sit all that they are down at a council table and come into agreement and compromise. And because sometimes people have aspects that are like warring inside of them and they need to know how to like talk it through in a way that feels good to all that they are. Like we give so many tools to help people create what they want to create in ways that are really holistic and lovely and whole. And then I do the business building aspect on the bi-weekly, so twice a month calls. They're also recorded, but this is the, how do you coach? How do you facilitate? How do you build a business, right? We also have bonuses, epic bonuses I'll tell you about in a few minutes that are taught live as well, but there are replays for everything. There's nothing that you have to be at live because we'll be working with people that are all over the world. And then you have a practicum to complete. We have one-on-one coaching that you must charge for, and you must submit the documentation that you've done it, and a couple of workshops that you have to do. So you've got experience doing both of them. And by the time you're done, you will have an actual business, right? And you'll actually have a business where you've made the money back on the initial investment, which is the best part. So the income potential for somebody who is using this model, creating their own spiritual academy, I'm going to share with conservative numbers that are based upon my own experience. When I stopped working in person, only just teaching dance and gymnastics, and I moved into this model online and in person, like you can do a hybrid. My first year was in 2019, I guess. And this could be your first year after you've done your certification. You could do some one-on-one coaching, you know, do say 15 clients, and you have a package. You're not just going one-on-one sessions, but you have a transformational package where you could take them through each element. Say it's a 3-month package, go through each element once. A 6-month package, you go deeper into each element so you can revisit and really get the juiciness there. And you can offer them a specific transformation through the package, meaning you can charge more. You can charge more because you are saying, this is what transformation you're going to have. What is it going to cost you to not have this in your life, whatever it is, right? This is an estimate. All of the numbers could vary. My first year that I did this, I had about 18 clients and I charged more like $5,000 a person, but I wanted it to be numbers that felt realistic. So you could also run a group coaching where you have, say, 10 clients that you go through and teach for 12 weeks in a course. Do that twice a year. Right? You could do a couple 2-day workshops 4 times a year, maybe working with the wheel of the year on the solstices and the equinoxes, but you could do them whenever it feels good for you. Doing that is working part-time. And of course, you'd have some, sales, admin, and marketing, but it's still part-time. I did this working about the 25, 30 hours a week when I first started. And I had a kid at home. It was the beginning of the pandemic that I did that. And I made about $83,000 in cash, $100,000 in sales. I also reinvested most of it into my business. It's not all profit, but I was like, I need to take all of the classes and learn all of the things. You would have a few expenses like your Zoom, like you would have if you're renting out a room and things like that, if you're getting an assistant. But when you have a digital business, especially, your overhead is a lot lower than when you're doing a brick and mortar thing, and you don't have to worry about getting shut down. So you have an online workshop and then all of a sudden restrictions come in, there's a new plague, whatever, just trying to create that. But you know what I mean? You can be like, okay, guys, we're just moving this online, and you'll have that set up. Right? You don't have to scramble. It means that you will have the flexibility and the security to be able to do what you need to do in person or online. You can do in person if the internet goes down, right? There's just so many things you can do when you've got that hybrid model. Oh yes, also, obviously this can't be guaranteed, but it is based upon something that I have done. So I know it's achievable based upon what I did myself a couple of years ago. The value of this program, it's at least worth $15,000. I'm not charging that though, but I have paid more for less in coaching programs often. The cost of this program right now is basically $5,000 for $997 USD. There is a payment plan as well, but I want to share with you the extra stuff that I put in, and that's just why also things that I teach is how to create an irresistible offer to people where they're like, oh my gosh, this would be silly for me to not. So you're going to get to learn how to be an elemental forces of creation oracle card reader, which is where you get to take the deck and you can actually run sessions for people. You could do single sessions. You could be like, hey, you want a 60-minute intuitive card reading? I'll teach you how to do that. And you could do a couple of those a week, make an extra $1,000 a month, right? Doing something really fun and easy, but it's also a great way to be able to grow your social media on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, doing card pulls, live readings, things like that. People eat that up. They love it. And you can bring through your unique gifts, your voice, your skill set. But the money comes in that I will teach you how to be a certified facilitator of the Oracle card reading program. So you can then sell that. That can be a program that you actually make money from. You can be like, hey, I've got these Oracle cards. People will get to know you from your Oracle card readings. And you go, who wants to learn how to do this and make money too, right? And when people are being certified in something that can make them money, they are much more likely to hand over money. So that's a very high level program, that a high value program that you will have as a freaking bonus. Okay. You could run that twice a year, make an extra 20 grand easily. Also, this is the thing that I love the most, or one of the, it's so hard to choose. It's the conscious dance facilitator training. So I took this with Lisa and then ran with it and did that for like 7 years. But you can also just weave it into your workshops, your group programs, your retreats, even your one-on-one things. And it doesn't have to be even framed in terms of dance, but when you get people moving their body, even if you don't call it dance, they will clear more, connect more, integrate more, because we are physical beings, right? When you actually move the energy into your body, the results are tremendous. And I'm going to be sharing specifically how you can use dance to create and manifest, or movement, right? Where you take the etheric realm, the idea realm, and you bring it into your body in your form. And it is a powerful form of magic that you can use for yourself and teach your clients. So super, super bad bonus. Then we have an Activate Your Inner Money Goddess certification, where you can teach an abundance workshop. People love abundance workshops because everyone wants more abundance. They're like, how do I make more money? Oh, cool. And we use that, that you can sell, right? You can sell that program. You can be certified to teach the Create a Dynamic Year program, where you support people in aligning their visions, their goals with the wheel of the year to work in conjunction with nature. And then you also learn how to do it for yourself. So double win, and you can create more abundance, but also you're literally not going to be fighting what is on the planet, which happens so much, especially to so many beautiful galactic-y people. They're like, oh, I should just be able to do this anytime. That's not how it works on Earth. There are better and worse times to do things, to start things, to grow things, and you want to work with what is, right? We share some profitable and transformational workshop secrets training. It's like a 6-figure workshops secrets training. And then also offering everybody to be able to do belief repatterning, which is that modality that I'm a certified practitioner of, so that you can shift your beliefs whenever you notice something's popping up. So if you're trying to build your business and you've got a belief system modification technique that you can use anytime, dude, you can rock and roll through anything. You're nervous about showing up on Facebook Lives or something like that. You can just repattern that. You create a new normal. It has served me so well. I have used it for everything from being not able to show up like me when I am tired into like, doesn't matter if I got 3 hours of sleep, I can still show up and be me, to growing my business and just moving any of those old stories if I can't into, no, when I'm aligned with my highest self, I totally can. I can do anything, right? It's powerful. I'm also going to be bringing in the developer of belief repatterning, who is a mentor of mine, to specifically teach my students about facilitation and coaching techniques that you can use conversationally to help students and clients do that too, right? So you can support them without spending the 2 years it takes to become a practitioner. I'll also be repatterning with people in the program. And then the last bonus is entry into the membership that I co-facilitate with Nina, who is here, and Nicole Rose, which is a place where all the magic happens. And we are doing like real-time ceremonies and workshops and bringing in guest facilitators with vibrational attunement modalities, techniques, meditation, movement, breath work, learning how to channel, amplifying your intuition. It goes on, and it's like, it's a really fun place. So you get to play in there as well. So that is the program. The bonuses are epic. Like they're so epic. And they'd be valued at like 10K. The program's about 15K. So you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. I am, for this round, because this is the beta, the first time I am doing it, charging $49.97 as a pay in full rate, which is probably going to go up. I cannot guarantee the price would stay the same, next time we launch. We do have a payment plan available of $444 for 12 months. Now, the cool thing is you have to remember you can start making money in the program and running workshops almost immediately. I would say within the first 3 or so months of the program, you can start earning the payments for that. So I feel like as long as you're doing the work, it is a risk-free investment, because you can make all your money back. When you complete the certification, you will be able to make back 5K, right? As long as you actually do it. And I will give you all of the freaking tools that I have to support you in being able to do it. So this is the offer that I am sharing with you. This is an example of how you can invite someone to come and play, create an irresistible offer after offering value in a non-attached way. I hope that you received a bunch of value just by learning from the elements, that you received some codes and tones from my voice, and that I was able to share with you, just through my field, an example of what is possible. So what I'm going to do is, in the chat box, I'm going to put a link to the page with all more information. I'm going to email you out information with the presentation. And if it feels like you are like, I would love to do this, this is exactly what I've been looking for, which is what I've been hearing from people, you can book a call with me. And I can support you in seeing if it is the right move for you right now. So I'm going to end this and just put on the full screen here and put this in the chat box. So here is the sales page. Let me make sure I do that right. Certification. So if you go to this page, you can book a call with me so that we can chat in person if you would like to know if this is the right move for you, right? And yeah, if you have some money beliefs showing up, that's a thing that we work through in the program. We also play with it in the playground, but we'll be talking about like a money and abundance and everything like that. Like money is literally just any energy. So when you clear out the old programs and you align with the infinite flow of abundance that is available to us, then making money is actually fun and easy. Like actually. And then the more that you actually get into the frequency of abundance and gratitude and that pure potential, the easier it is. So there is sort of a downward spiral we can have with money and an upward spiral. It takes a lot of effort at the beginning to clear out all that old stuff. But once you make that momentum, and by the way, it's so much easier when you have someone holding space for you and you're all rising together to do it, like so much easier. Awesome. Yes, just checking out some of the comments here. Beautiful. Does anybody have any questions that I can support you with right now? If you want to hop on a call with me, I can also just put the calendar link here as well. I am super excited to be doing this because, like I said, I'm super passionate about empowering people to be able to do what they came here to do. Because can you imagine for a moment a world where everybody was following their soul-led yeses and they were on mission and they were on board with like what they know in their soul they're here to do and the life they were here to live? That is the world that I want to live in. And I know that I can't do it all on my own. So I'm here to help the helpers. That's always been my thing. I used to work at the distress center in Calgary, and it was not very long before, instead of being on the phones talking with people who were in distress, I was training the volunteers, right? Like I love coaching coaches, helping helpers, healers, because it makes the most impact for me. It's just also my design, right? I can support those people, you people, right, who are here to do that in expanding your reach, right? And then you're like this point of light, this lighthouse that gets to be all across the globe. I've got clients that are all over, and then you spread your light out and eventually just lights up the whole damn thing, right? And we don't have to do it alone. So I'm so excited to be able to do this right now. Hey, friends that are saying you are regretting a prior purchase. If you didn't do that, you could do this. Let's destroy and uncreate any regret that you were having in your field. I think I probably know the program that you're talking about because I tend to always be in alignment with what that one is doing. And it's because we're doing really similar things, but in different ways, right? There's no need for regret. One thing is this is not going to go away. This is something that I am launching for the first time right now, but I plan on doing this for a while. This is my way of reaching as many people as I can, making the biggest impact that I can is by training the trainers, the helpers, the coaches, the facilitators, right? So it's not like this is the only opportunity that you'll have. The price might change. I would be surprised if I don't raise it, but this is our beta launch. We are starting on October 20th, and we will be, just launching again. I want to say maybe early new year, but I don't have a date yet for that. So there is a whole lot of options here. Okay. Oh, so it's not the one that I was thinking of. Okay, you were told to wait on that one because it was because of this one. This is the one you were waiting for. Isn't that funny how that works? Sometimes we don't always know why we're doing the things that we're doing when the intuition's coming, but eventually we usually get a like, oh, that's what that was for. Like when I was told with absolutely no more information about why, that I needed to can my dream business that I freaking love, that was making me money, that I didn't, it was just so fun and easy, and then rebrand and go online. I had no idea why. I just knew I had to follow that because the voice was so clear and it felt inevitable. And when COVID happened, I understood it all, right? And not just accelerated the plans that I already had in motion. So a big part of this program that I am teaching, everything that I teach is about how do you get clearer on your intuition? How are you able to connect with that divine cosmic aspect of yourself and align with your cosmic trajectory and tap into the visionary part of you that has the whole picture, and then do the next right thing, right? Do the next right thing in alignment with that, in full trust, even when it doesn't make sense. That's what I'm always teaching. And we use the vehicle of learning how to be a coach and healer in this time, or sometimes I'm using the vehicle of light language, sometimes I'm using the vehicle of the playground or hula hooping, right? But I'm always supporting people in that, because that is my mission, and that's what I want to have the legacy be, that you, all my coaches, everybody who works with me, to ripple that out and inspire other people to do that, listening to the intuition and knowing what is and what isn't, and bringing all of that through. So in the playground, we have a ton of work on intuition that's happening. If you're not already in there, the doors are closed for now. They'll be just opening up for anyone who steps into Creation Coach. And we'll also be probably opening up for December for an amazing journey towards solstice. So amazing. Sydney, you signed up for a call. Hooray. I can't wait to chat with you. And if you have made it this far, I greatly appreciate you. If you're watching on the replay, all of the links I'm going to have emailed to you, but you can also look at them by finding, if you go to joyevolution.com, Joy Evolution is all one word. In the top, you've got the certification program. You can just go to that and you can read more about everything. And then also you can book a time to talk with me, because I would love to speak to anyone that is on the same soul mission as me, right? To light up themselves and then be that example for humanity, and then have some more wealth and abundance and prosperity and fun and joy while we do it, and change the world, right? But starting from the inner self first, because that's how it's got to go. It's also why I love entrepreneurship so much. It is like the fastest pathway to personal and spiritual development that I know, right? Like the more that you are able to work with all that you are, the more you can show up in your business, the more impact you can make. So this has been so delightful. I am going to stop the recording now, but if anybody has any questions, email me, hop on a call, or if you were here live, I'll just stick around for a couple minutes as well. So just so much gratitude to all of you for being here. I love you so much. And I hope you take this information from the elemental forces and try some of it on, and start talking to the elements yourself, by the way. And they'll start to give you messages for yourself. Like, they are really amazing companions for creation in business and life.